Hello my dear students, myself Vishnu Sharma, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. In the last lecture, I have introduced the mathematical logic. What is mathematical logic and what are the different types of mathematical logic like propositional logic and predicate logic. And we started with propositional logic. What is proposition? A proposition is a statement which is either true or false. And because every logic is itself a language of computer science, so propositional logic is a propositional language. Every language consists of syntax and semantics. Syntax tells us that how to write the statements. You need to follow certain rules to write the statements. And semantics tells us that when we, after writing the statement by using the syntax, whether that particular statement has a proper meaning or not. In terms of propositional logic, we call them as well-defined statements. So, what do you mean by syntax? What is the syntax of the propositional logic? In the syntax of the propositional logic, we have defined two sentences like atomic sentence and complex sentence. Atomic sentence is a simple sentence or a single sentence or a proposition which is either true or false. A complex sentence can be obtained by combining all the atomic sentences. So, how do we combine these atomic sentences? To combine these atomic sentences, we need some connectivity. So, that connectivity is called logical connectivity in mathematical logic or in propositional logic. What are those logical connectivities? So, we discussed in the last class different logical connectivities, like the first one is the negation, second one is the conjunction, third one is the disjunction, fourth one is implication or also call it as conditional, and the last one is by implication or by conditional. So, by using these logical connectivities, we try to combine the sentences. So, once we know the truth value of a particular sentence, suppose a sentence will be either true or false, this is called a proposition. But if you know the truth value of a particular sentence and the truth value of the other sentence, when you combine those two sentences by using the logical connectivity, what will be the truth value of this compound sentence? So, how do we get the truth value of this compound sentence? That is what we are trying to discuss in this particular lecture, which we can call it as truth table. So, before I would like to give what is a truth table and how to construct the truth table when we combine different sentences by using the logical connectivities, let us first try to understand the precedence of the operators. That means the precedence of logical connectivities. It is very important in propositional logic because the semantics of propositional logic tells us that whether the statement is well defined or not. How do we decide that? That can be decided by using the precedence of logical connectivities. So, let us try to understand what is the precedence of operators and then how do we convert the English sentences into the form of propositional logic. Because we need to convert the sentences into the form of machine understanding language. So, that is what here one of the language is propositional language. So, how do we convert the information which we gathered in our language into the form of the machine language like propositional language, one of the language. So, let us try to discuss these two first and then we will move to truth table. The first one is precedence of operators. So, here the precedence of operators, if you observe the particular figure, in the last class we discussed about that negation, conjunction, disjunction, implication and by implication. These are the 5 connectivities. So, how do we use these 5 connectivities? The precedence of the negation will be the first one, and conjunction will be the second one, disjunction will be the third one, implication fourth, and by implication fifth. Means that I have given one example here, negation of P and Q. See here there is negation is there, P is there and Q is there, like this it is given, negation P and Q. So you don't know that whether this statement is negation P and Q, or can I take negation of P and Q. Can I take like this or can I take like that? What? I don't know. So if you don't know the precedence of these operators, you have an ambiguity of taking the sentences either like this or either like this, whether the sentence will be taken like this or like this. So if you know the precedence of these operators, then you can take, because as per the precedence of the operator, the highest priority will be given first to what? The negation. So what we are going to do, we will take the negation first for the given sentence, and then we can go for what? The conjunction. So by using these precedence of operators, so you can take this, you can understand this statement can be taken in this way, not in this way, because we will give the first priority to the negation and then what? Conjunction. So like this you can try to understand the sentences if they will not be given in the parenthesis. If they will be given in the parenthesis, according to that you can follow, but if they will not given in the parenthesis, then use the precedence of the operator and then follow the statement. Next, the same sentence, P and Q implies R. So here P, the second statement is P and Q implies R. Again there is an ambiguity whether I have to go with what? This can be, if you don't know the precedence of the operators, whether I can go with like this or P and Q implies R like this. Which one will be the correct one? If you don't know the precedence of the operators, so you have an ambiguity of taking the sentence of this, either this form or this form. But once you know the precedence of these operators, then first we will go with what? Conjunction, and then we will go with what? Implication. So coming to this sentence, so I can go with first conjunction, so I am taking the parenthesis of P and Q because conjunction will be applied first, and then whatever the result we are going to get for this compound sentence, for which I am going to apply the logical connectivity of what? Implication. So that's why I am going with this, I am not going with this as per the precedence of operator. So precedence of operator plays very important role in propositional logic, which will give you the well defined statement of a propositional logic, that is the semantics of the propositional logic. So whenever a statement will be given like this, then according to the precedence of the operator, you need to get the well defined statement like this for the given compound statement. Then only you can find the truth value. Otherwise what will happen, if you take like this you will get the one truth value, if you take like this you will get the another truth value. So there is an ambiguity. So in that case you have to go for precedence of operators. So this is the importance of precedence of operators. Now coming to, I have given some of the statements, English statements here. What I want to do here, it is that I am trying to convert these sentences into the form of propositional logic. So how do we convert these sentences into the form of a propositional logic? So to convert, why we need to convert them, just now I have explained, because you need to convert the sentences which are there in our natural language into the machine language. One of that machine language is propositional language. So you are trying to convert them into the propositional language and then embed these sentences into the knowledge base of the machine. So to do that, we should know how to convert those sentences by using the syntax of the propositional logic. Now let us go with the first statement what is given here. The first statement is, Alice is not smart but honest. So Alice is not smart but honest. This is the statement which I want to convert it into propositional logic. Now, if you go through this particular statement, whatever it is given, Alice is smart. This is the one sentence. By observing this entire sentence, we will get two sentences here. If you have clearly observed that Alice is smart, that is, another statement is Alice is what? Honest. So, I can write the first sentence is like this. Suppose I am going to take like this. Alice is smart. And second sentence is Alice is honest. Irrespective of the sentence, I have taken the two sentences by observing this. Alice is smart and Alice is honest. Now, I am going to assign a propositional variable for this P and I am going to assign the another propositional variable for this Q. So, like this I am assigning two propositional variables for the two sentences. Once you are assigning the two propositional variables to the sentences, now you have to, Alice is not smart. Here we have taken Alice is smart is a propositional variable P. So, but here it is given that Alice is not smart. So, therefore, we have to take what? Alice is not smart means, I am just writing here, Alice is not smart. Means how do we take negation of P? Because Alice is smart is P, therefore, Alice is not smart is negation P. But Alice is what? Honest. So, no need to take. So, we will take this. So, Alice is, this sentence can be written as the same sentence I am going to write. Alice is not smart and Alice is honest. So, the same sentence can also be written in the form of what? Alice is not smart and Alice is honest. So, therefore, this entire sentence can be written in the form of negation P, because we assumed that Alice is smart as a propositional variable of P, and this can be written as what? And we use the conjunction Alice is honest. Alice is honest has taken as what? Negation, sorry, only Q. We have taken it as Q. So, therefore, this sentence can be written in the form of negation of P and Q. I hope it is understand. So, to try if you want to convert the given sentence into the propositional form, first try to understand the sentence what is given there. So, in this sentence, if you observe clearly, one is Alice is smart, another one is Alice is honest. These are the two sentences. First, you have to take the positivity of the sentences, and then we are going to assign the, if there is a negation, then we are going to take the negation of the sentence. First, I am going to take what? Alice is smart, that is written as P, and Alice is honest, that is written as Q. So, now the same sentence can be written as Alice is smart and Alice is honest. So, Alice is smart, because we have taken Alice is smart as a propositional variable of P. So, Alice is not smart can be taken as negation P. And what? Alice is honest. So, how do we write that? It can be taken as Q. So, therefore, the first sentence can be written in the form of negation of P and Q if you take these two are the propositional variables of the given statement. So, this is how we can do it. Now, second one, either Alice is smart or she is not smart but honest. So, how do we convert here? See, the same sentence can also be written as, so now let us take like this. I am taking P, just now I have taken that Alice is smart, and Q is the another propositional variable which I have assigned with what? Alice is honest. So, these are the two statements I have taken. Now, I am coming to write this sentence into the form of propositional logic. How do we write that? Either Alice is smart or C is not smart but honest. The same sentence can be written as Alice is smart or C is not smart and C is honest. Alice is smart, either Alice is smart or C is not smart but honest. This sentence can also be written in the form of what? C is not smart and C is honest. That is the sentence how we are going to write, just exactly like what we have written here. Alice is not smart but honest. The same statement can be written as what? Alice is not smart and Alice is honest. In the similar way here also, C is not smart but honest. How do we write that? C is not smart and C is honest. Sorry, we cannot take or because it is the combined sentence. C is not smart but honest. So how do we get C is not smart or C is not honest? If you take like that, any one of will be true. But here C is not smart but honest means both will be true. So C is not smart and C is honest. Like that we are going to take. So therefore the first one is Alice is smart. So this can be taken as P. Alice is smart can be taken as P. Or indicates what? Disjunction. Either Alice is smart or, so we will take disjunction. And C is not smart but honest, that can be written as what? C is not smart, that means negation of P or here I am writing again, sorry. Alice is smart, Q is Alice is honest. So Alice is smart, we can write it as P or C is not smart or C is not smart, negation P and C is honest, Q. Either Alice is smart or that. So that's why we have taken like this. This is a compound statement which we can write for the given sentence of what? Second sentence. Similarly, the third sentence is very easy. How do we write that? If Alice is smart, then C is not honest. If and then, when we can use this? When there is a implication. P implies Q. What is the meaning of that? If P, then Q. So therefore, Alice is smart, that can be taken as a preposition variable P, and then C is not honest means implies that. If and then, that can be written in the form of implies implication symbol, and C is not honest means negation Q. This is the third one. I hope it is clear to you. Coming to the fourth one, how do we write the fourth one? That Alice is smart is necessary and sufficient for Alice to be honest. Try to understand the statement here first. That Alice is smart is necessary and sufficient for what? Alice to be honest. So necessary and sufficient means if and only if, means that the same statement can also be written in another form. If Alice is smart, then what? Alice is honest, and vice versa. If and only if, that means Alice is smart if and only if Alice is honest. In that case, we use the logical connectivity is what? By implication or by conditional. So P implies and implied by Q. Or otherwise, this can also be written as if Alice is smart, then Alice is honest, and what? Same we can write, if Alice is honest, then Alice is smart. That is what we are going to write. So this can also be written as like this, P implies and implied by Q, or we can write the same sentence like this, P implies Q and Q implies P. So this is the way we try to convert. I have given only a few examples how to convert the English sentences into the form of what? Propositional logic. In our introductory class, I told you that why we need to go for predicate logic. Already we have a propositional logic. Let me give you one sentence why, as I said in our introductory class, not all the English sentences can be converted into the form of propositional logic. So, let me give you one example, such example why we cannot convert it into the form of propositional logic. Let us consider a statement like this: all students are smart. Now, I would like to convert this particular statement into the form of propositional logic. So, to convert this, you try to understand the statement. All students are smart. So, let us convert it into another form. How do we convert this? Suppose if you take X is a student or P is a student and Q is smart. Because we have student and smart is there, let us assign P is propositional variable to the student and Q propositional variable to the smart. Then how do we convert it into propositional form? All students means how do we write? The same statement I am going to write like this. The same statement can be written as, suppose if X is a student then X is smart. This is the statement I can write. But if X is a student, it is not only hold for what? One student. It should hold for all the students, because all students are mentioned here. To represent all in propositional logic, there is no syntax. So, what we need to do here, it is not possible to convert this particular sentence into the form of propositional logic. Why it is not possible? If you write like this, suppose I am going to write P implies Q. If you take like this, because P is a student, if P is a student, then suppose P is smart. If I can write like this, if P is a student and P is smart, then I am writing what? P is a smart, that is what I am taking it as Q, and P is a student, this is P and this is Q. P implies Q. So, this is not only hold for, remember that, one student. All the students in the class are what? Smart. All the student means what? You need some variable. So, how do we represent that variable here? It is not possible by using the syntax of propositional logic. So, this is not the correct way of represent. If only one student is there, if suppose some Ram is a student and then Ram is a smart, then I can write P indicates Ram is a student and Q indicates Ram is a smart, no problem. But here it is mentioned that all the students are smart. So, to represent all, there is no syntax in the propositional logic. So, like that, there are some sentences which we cannot convert into the form of propositional logic. So, this sentence also cannot be converted into the form of propositional logic. That is the limitation of this propositional logic. Therefore, we have to go for predicate logic. We will discuss that in the next lecture. So, this is how we are converting the given sentences, English sentences, into the form of propositional logic by using the syntax of the propositional logic. Coming to the next, what is truth table? So, just now I have given why we have to go for the truth table. So, as per the definition of the proposition, a proposition P is what? either true or it may be false. For example, it is a rainy day. It is a rainy day today. Suppose this is the statement which I have taken. Let us assume that it is true. Assume that it is true. I will not come to college. I will come to college. I will come to college. I will come to college. It may be true. Let us assume that it is false. Assume that it is false. Then, if I want to combine these two statements like this, if I want to write, if it is a rainy day, I am taking one combination of the sentences. If it is a rainy day today, then what? I will come to college. I am writing here, come to college. So, how do we get the truth value when you combine these two sentences? We know that individually it is true and this is false. But when you combine these two sentences by using some logical connectivity, how do you know that the truth value? So, to know the truth value, we have to know about first the truth table for each logical connectivity. So, that means if you know the truth value of this particular sentence what I have written here, so you should know the truth values of what? Implication, because I am using here if and then. When it will be, when you combine two sentences by using the implication, when it will be true and when it will be false. So, to know the truth value of the compound sentences, we have to go for truth tables of each logical connectivity. That is the importance of this truth table. So, let us try to understand the truth table. So, here it is given the definition of a truth table. So, let us try to understand this. A truth table for a propositional language is a table. For a propositional language, it is a table showing that what? All possible truth assignments. All possible truth assignments for the proposition constants in the language. That is what I have mentioned. If you combine two or more sentences by using a particular logical connectivity, to know the truth value of that compound sentence, we have to represent it by using a truth table. Because these sentences, whatever you have combined, they may consist of different truth value individually. One sentence may be true, the another sentence may be false, and the next sentence may be true. Or otherwise, the first sentence may be false, the second sentence may be true, and the third sentence may be false. Like this, if you take the combinations of the truth values individually for each and every individual atomic sentence, when you combine that, what will happen? To get the truth value of that compound sentence, we have to use the truth table of what? That particular logical connectivity with what you have combined those sentences. This is very important. So, in the truth table, how do we represent? The truth table can be represented with what? Rows and columns. So, what we are going to take in the column and what we are going to take in the rows. In the column, what we are going to take? Column corresponding to what? Correspond to the proposition constants. That means, suppose if I want to represent P implies Q, the truth table of this compound sentence, P implies Q, what I need to do here that I am going to take individually the propositional constants in the what? Column. That is how I am going to take like this. And what is rows? What rows corresponding to different truth assignments. Different truth assignments means what? Because I'm taking true two propositional constants, the number of choices of truth assignments are what? 2 square, which is equal to 4. If I am going to take two propositional variables, the number of assignments of truth values for P and Q are 4. If I am going to take three propositional variables like P, Q and R, then the number of assignments of the truth values for these P, Q and R are in the rows, you have to take 2 cube is equal to 8. Similarly, if there are n number of R there, then we have to take 2 power n truth value assignments in the rows. So that many number of rows you are going to get. If there are two constants, propositional constants are there, you will get 4 rows with truth values 4 to like this. And if there are three propositional constants are there, you will get the 8 rows. And if there are n number of propositional constants are there, you will get 2 to the power of n number of rows. This is very, very important. That is what is defined here. I hope it is clear now for what is a truth table. So now let us come to discuss the truth table for each and every logical connectivity separately. Let us start with what? Negation. Negation is denoted by, as we know, this is the symbol, or in some textbooks it may be defined like this also. So the negation symbol will be like this. So negation tells us that if the statement is true, if the given statement is true, if you take the negation of that particular statement, it will be the false. That means which is opposite to the previous one. So if I am going to take a statement P, then the negation of P can be taken as like this. If P is true, then negation of P is what? What you can get here? It is false. You will get it is equal to false. If the statement is false, then the negation of P is what? True. So this is how we can represent, because here only one statement which we consider like P, because of that you will get the number of rows 2 power 1 equal to 2 rows only. So this is how we can represent the truth table for negation like this. So you just go through that. So this is P, negation P, false, true, true, false. And the second one is conjunction. So how do we represent conjunction? The second one, which is very, very important, second one is conjunction, logical connectivity. So here we are going to take what? It is represented by AND. So to know the truth table of conjunction, you have to go with two statements P and Q, then their compound sentence can be written as P and Q. So like this we are going to represent. Now because of two propositional constants are there, we will get 2 square equal to how many number of rows? 4 rows we are going to get. So what are those 4 rows? So to know that clearly, that you have to take true, true, false, false. This is an easiest method to represent the number of rows. Why? Because if you miss here, it is very simple. But as the number of propositional variables are going to increase, the number of rows are also going to increase. If you miss any propositional row or truth value of any propositional variable, or if you write incorrectly any propositional variable, then entire truth table will give you the wrong information. Therefore, so you have to take the truth values for each and every propositional variable correctly. You have to mention them correctly in the truth table. So I am going to take true, false, true, false. Now this is what this one. What conjunction tells? What is the conjunction tells us that? Conjunction tells us that the truth value of P and Q is true if P is true and Q is true. If both the statements are true, then only the truth value of the compound statement by using the conjunction of two propositional variables is true. That is the basic definition of a conjunction. So now let us, here P is true, Q is true, therefore it is true. And true, false, because it is as per definition it is false. False, true, again it is false, because both are true then only it is true. If both are false, in that case also it is false. Therefore, this is how we represent the truth value of P and Q. I hope it is clear. Once again I am repeating this, the truth value of P and Q, that means the conjunction of two statements is always true if both the statements individually true. That is the definition of conjunction. In the other cases it is always false. So I hope it is clear for you now. So let us look at the table. So this is the table. Just now I told you about that. This is how we can represent the truth table for conjunction. The next one is disjunction. So what is disjunction? How do we represent it? So the disjunction is represented by what? OR. And the definition of the disjunction is P or Q is true. P or Q is true if either P is true or Q is true or both true. Both true. So this is the definition of disjunction tells us that when it will be true, if P is true or Q is true or both true. The another way also we can define it. The another way, how do we define it? P or Q is false if P is false and Q is false. This is P is false and Q is false. If both are false, then only it is false. Otherwise, in both other cases, it is true. So let us take the table P, Q, P or Q. So because two variables are there, I am writing true, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. True, true is true by definition. True, false is also true. If any one is true, it is true. False, true, it is also true. False, false, it is false. So like this, we are going to construct the truth table for disjunction. So I hope it is clear. Remember that disjunction of two statements will be false if both the statements individually false. In all other cases, it will be true. So that is the truth table for disjunction.